gorgeous day, huh?
Oh my gosh. I was talking to strangers from like then I got
That's all right.
just
But we're still waiting, right? Oh, you want me to go? Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you.
Good morning.
This is about the many different hats you wear as a human, and you can't always do them well, right? This world can be tragic each and every day. It seems no matter how you try, nothing's ever right in everything you do or say. But this world is a blessing, a gift waiting to be seen. Yeah, there seems no middle ground. It's either up or down, and nothing in between. I am a husband, I am a teacher, I am a father, I am a brother, I'm a son, and I'm a friend. Think of me what you want to. I am only just a man, and all that I can say is on any given day I do the best I can. We're all battling boredom, trying to deal with who we are. We only have our expectations, we can never reach that far. I am a husband, I am a teacher, I am a father, I am a brother, I'm a son, and I'm a friend. Think of me what you want to. I am only just a man, and all that I can say is on any given day I do the best I can. It seems the grass is always greener anywhere here, and we're afraid if we stop moving we might just disappear. So we run into a ragged, beat down to the floor. What for? What for? And I am not a rich man, not a movie star, but I take out the trash, I put the kids to bed. It's what makes heroes who they are. Yeah, I am a husband, I am a teacher, I am a father, I am a brother, I'm a son, and I'm a friend. Think of me what you want to. I am only just a man, and all that I can say is on any given day I do the best I can. And all that I can say is on any given day I do the best I can.
That's the amazing Andrew Dunn. You know, your songs go right to the heart. It's just so beautiful.
Thank you.
Because we all relate. Even though I'm not a man, I relate.
Yeah.
So good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Morristown. I'm Frankie Timmers, and I am really happy to be here. And I'm happy to be here with Andrew today. So it's a new month, October, and we're still in the theme for the year, already exploring the next one. But this year it's a grand rising, and I'll explain that a little bit more in a moment. And the theme for October is power to the people. So we're going to explore that a little bit today by always bringing it back to our inner experience, because that's what Science of Mind is about. That's what New Thought is about. That's what metaphysics are about. And that's really what spirituality is about, right? We use what we experience in the world as a way to develop our inner self and to evolve. So that's the exploration today. And we are, as a Center for Spiritual Living, to be found on the internet. And when you find us at cslmorristown.org, you're going to see lots of things happening over the next few months, some of which I will tell you about a little bit later. So we do a namaste practice here as a way to greet one another, and namaste in essence means that the divinity in me sees and blesses the divinity in you. And so when we do that with each other, we're not just giving, we're also receiving. And namaste is the Sanskrit word for that. So let's put our hands together and greet one another and say namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
I love that you all want to do everybody.
I know, you do.
That's the best. So let's do an opening treatment, which is our word for affirmative prayer. And I like to close my eyes, and you're welcome to do so. And as I close my eyes, something happens. It's a withdrawal from the outer world of effect, the world of form. And it's an arrival at the inner world of cause, of spirit, of heart, where we realize there is a creative intelligence that operates our physical bodies. I mean, none of us had to plug in this morning to make our heart go. It's just something that the creative intelligence of the body knows how to do. And whenever it falters, it's just a reminder that there's something in the universe that is greater than we are, that is a power for good that we can use. We use it not to judge ourselves or anyone else for any kind of misuse, in quotes, but we use it in a way to awaken to our inherent spirit, to the creative intelligence within us. And as we explore this idea of power today in this month, we explore it from a place of inner power, knowing that this power for good in the universe is within us, and it is available to us, and it is already giving itself to us. And so in the awakening, we realize there might be some places in our lives or in ourselves where we can be more proactive, more active, more conscious, more aware, and more loving and compassionate. And so today, we trust that process, each of us in our own way, because we're each individualized expressions of the one, each of us unique. And so there's nothing left but to be grateful that this power doesn't only govern us, but it governs life. And so it is. So, as a reminder, a grand rising is the theme for the year, and it was a new term for me. And it is a term that comes out of Black African American spirituality as a way to say good morning on steroids. A grand rising is saying, I rise anew. This is a new day. The past has gone, and I embrace a new way of being. The beauty of this theme that was co-created by the Global Themes team of CSL is that every month then there was a theme to evolve that. And this month, it's power to the people. And I was thinking about that at first. I kind of didn't like it. I'm like, that all came into being in my era. I was born in 1957, and so in the 60s in the Netherlands, so the 60s and the 70s, 60s, I was still young, but the 70s, I loved them. I was a teenager. I loved the music. I loved the passion for peace, and I loved the energy. And some of you are more familiar with it than I was, or I am. Some of you aren't. Some of you are like, what the hell is she talking about? Because you're that young. But it was an era where life was very rich. Not only was the Vietnam War in full force, a 20-year war in which 4 million people died, and there was like 6,000 plus veterans. But it was a war that stirred up a lot of energy in human beings. There were a lot of protests. And one of those groups were the Black Panthers, who basically said, power to the people. And then there was John Lennon and James Brown that created songs that we all probably can still sing along with. Power to the people. Remember that? So there was something alive and something on fire that was so inspiring and so powerful. But when we look at today, it's kind of interesting. It's easy to get depressed and say, how come we are still at war? And that there are more and more wars, it seems. And we live at a time where people seem more divided than ever. That's why it's so important for us to be on the spiritual path. Because it's on the spiritual path that we look at what wants to be healed within us, and that we bring to life. And as we bring it to life, we hold a vision for peace regardless of what is happening in the world. Somebody recently said to me, well, those 50s and 60s peace people, they really didn't accomplish anything. Well, how do we know that? We hold on to the vision, not because we look for it in the world of effect, even though we do find it, right? Is that we keep holding that vision because we know it's the truth that wants to be revealed, and each of us gets to do a part. And so this whole theme of a grand rising then is bigger than just good morning. It is saying, I have a clear intention. I have made a clear decision to stand for something good instead of to stand against something I might call not so good. And how do we do that is what I want to talk about today. Because when we think about this idea of power, we have to remember that the theme last month was what? Peace. Yeah, some of you paid attention. The theme was peace, so we moved from peace into power, which is really interesting, right? Thomas Strowert, who is somebody who deeply inspired Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of our teaching, said that there are 7 qualities of God. So those of you that get a little nauseous when you hear the word God because you don't like that word, you can pick any of those, or all of them. They are power, peace, love, light, beauty, joy, and wisdom. Those are the 7 qualities of God, of this creative intelligence that is within us. And the beauty of our spiritual practices is we can call upon each quality depending on what our needs are, knowing that these qualities are already within us. Most of us know that intelligence is something that can be cultivated, but wisdom is something that is already 100% within us, inherent, and we can call upon it. We call that spiritual life. And so I love what Andrietta Earl says in the Science of Mind magazine this month, where she talks about the Black Panther movement and this idea of power to the people and what it was like back then. But she says that even today, we still have good reason to advocate for people's highest and best. We're called to do this by protecting our planet's resources, standing for women's rights, supporting universal access to health care, demanding food and housing security, defending voting rights, and advocating equity for all. During this divisive time, there are those of us who believe, and I pray you will join us, in declaring we've got to give more power to the people. Mm-hmm. Isn't that beautiful? Mm-hmm. And so think about this word power. You know, just watching the news and seeing the damage that Hurricane Helene did through the power of water and wind is just, I have no words for it. It's just heartbreaking. It's unbelievable. I don't know if any of you have seen any of the images, hopefully, because I think they're important for us to see. Maybe heard about it. Maybe somebody's here saying, Hurricane who? Right? Because we're all over, right? So when you think about the power of water alone, is that any different than the power that is within us. Maybe not, because it's on our witnessing this power that we realize it's the same power within us that's actually infinite, because the power of water in a way is finite. When you hear the word power, what is the first thing that comes to mind? You hear the word power.
Strength.
Destruction. Destruction.
Destruction.
Dominance.
Dominance.
Government.
Government.
Energy.
Energy. Fear. Right? We have some confusion about power. We have both, right? We can see it as destructive, we can see it as limited, we can see it as abuse or abusive, or we can see it as there's an infinite possibility and the source of it lies within us. What this is telling me, because I'm with all of you, and then some words, right, is that there's room for me to have clarity about this word called power, just like the word peace, the word God, the word life, love, right? Because all of us are individualized expressions of the one ever evolving. We're never done. So we can say, where am I now when it comes to this idea of power? In what ways has my power been taken away? Anybody ever felt like their power was taken away?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Can you give an example?
Yeah, when you're not given a choice.
When we're not given a choice, good one. When we were abused. When we were told, you're just a kid. You don't have a voice. You don't get to have a voice. Right? Anybody else have that one? What else? When did you feel like your power was taken away from you?
When
As
the
a child,
organization
you think
changes.
When an organization changes
By a teacher.
by a teacher,
When you're told what to do,
when you're told what to do,
To be quiet.
to be quiet, maybe in a relationship, right? Maybe it's something that we feel regularly. This morning, there was a police car behind me in our development. My first thought was I speeding? Are my lights working? Why is he so close? What did I do, right? This first reaction was limited, and he's just patrolling our neighborhood. Thank you very much, police officer. He was behind me quite a bit. So I just stayed calm and I knew what to do, right? So even in those moments, we might feel like not just our power is taken away, but it's going to be taken away. All that is an opportunity to look inside and say, where am I with this thing called power? Where am I with this thing called personal power? And what if all the challenges that we've had with this are there to teach us something, are there to awaken us, are there to grow us, are there for us to say there is a power for good in the universe that is greater than we are and we can use it? Ernest Holmes' most famous statement. So I want to say, have you say it with me. There's a power for good in the universe.
There's a power for good in the universe.
Greater than I am.
Greater than I am.
It is within me.
It is within me.
And I can use it.
And I can use it.
That is one of the most powerful affirmations that we can say forever, because we're never fully done. There's always more awareness around this inner power. And the thing about having greater clarity around power is because in our teaching, we teach that everything is consciousness. I know that's demanding. I know that's challenging. I know that that is a powerful principle to embody, to live, to practice, to understand, to cultivate, and to get really clear about. Because it's not just entertainment it's teaching. It is a teaching that we get to embody in greater yet greater ways. And so it's Ernest Holmes that talks about how we look to cause instead of looking to effect. If you think about it, when you look at the news or you look at the world, when you listen to people who are not on a spiritual path, they are all focused on effect. on experience, on what's happening in the world, on who's right and who's wrong, on what's good and what's bad. But when we're on a spiritual path, we say, everything is consciousness. Everything is my experience. Everything is my awareness. Everything reflects what it is that I believe. So when I feel like my power is taken away or might be taken away, whether it's conscious or not, I get to just pause and listen and say, what is that? And what does it mean about the power for good that is already within me? And how I am using it? Or am I maybe misusing it? Knowing that my misuse of this power that is already within me creates my life and creates my life experiences. And so we work with this idea of power so that we can, instead of look for it on the outside, remember it's already on the inside and it's mine to use in greater yet greater ways. So it's about establishing a relationship. It's about establishing an inner relationship and cultivating the power that is already within us, the peace that is already within us, the love, the light, the wisdom, the joy, and the beauty that is already within us. And as we do, we shed the opposite. We shed what no longer serves us. And it's a lifelong process and lifelong changes. I think all of us can kind of look back in our past and say, that's so interesting, I don't do that anymore. I don't give my power away as much anymore. I don't rely on peace coming from the outside as much. I'm more patient and loving. I'm less judgmental. Those are the things that we notice when we do this inner work. So the question then is, what do I believe? What do I believe? So I want to do a little practice. I invite you to close your eyes. And if you need to, settle your body a little bit more so that you're open, relaxed, receptive. And just focus your attention on your breath for a moment. Allow it to naturally slow down, deepen, and find its own rhythm. And just for a moment, allow yourself to look at the opposites of use of power, misuse of power. Maybe start with how you see it in the world. In your environment. And what if they are two sides of the same thing? That there's the infinite power called Spirit, God, creative intelligence. And then it shows up in the world as two opposites. Power for good and a power for maybe what you would call evil or not good. And then ask yourself, how is this an invitation for me to see more clearly? That there is a power for good in me. That I can use. Whether it's about my body, my mind, my heart, my relationships, my current situation in life, my relationship to others. Knowing there's always room for this clarity. for truly understanding that there really is only one power, and this power is within. And when we have clarity around it, everything begins to shift in our world, in our lives. So today, set an intention to more clearly see the power of truth with a capital T. And quietly, in the privacy of your own mind, allowing the words to fall into your heart, repeat quietly for yourself, there is a power for good in the universe. It's greater than I am. It is within me, and I can use it. The intention reflects our willingness to use it in a healthier, more conscious way. And so now slowly bring your attention back, and when you're ready, open your eyes. So our life then is about healing some wounds maybe, clarifying, deeper understanding, owning the truth of our being and giving it life, right? Knowing that there is a power for good in the universe that is greater than we are, we can use it. It's not just words or an affirmation, it's actually a practice. So when there are moments where we feel disempowered or loss of power, it's a reminder to step into that new, different place of understanding. So Dr. Ernest Holmes started the Science of Mind philosophy over 100 years ago. And one of the things that he always said in his radio show, and later that became, I think, TV, where he would say that we are surrounded by, and I'm adding infused with, we're surrounded by and infused with a creative intelligence. And this creative intelligence receives the imprint of our thoughts and our beliefs, and it acts on it. That's what this teaching is all about. That's what we're all awakening to. That's what we're all trying to get. There is a creative intelligence, call it God, Buddha, Allah, Spirit, Mother Nature, doesn't care. Peace, power, beauty, joy, love, light, wisdom. There's a creative intelligence that surrounds us and it infuses us. It takes the imprint of our thoughts and beliefs and acts on it, meaning demonstrates it through us, manifests it through us. So what we're seeing, witnessing, and experiencing in the world is our own imprint of thoughts and beliefs. And when we don't like it, which probably is a lot, it is for me, although less and less and less, it is my opportunity to clarify how I am acting, thinking, believing, and being in the world, and expressing in the world, and experiencing the world. So he talks about how this power that we're talking about today is responding to you. It's not because of somebody else. That's just a portal to our awakening. This power that I'm talking about today is responding to your consciousness and my consciousness and demonstrating it so that I can see it. So that when I see it, I say, oh, that's so interesting. I can use this power that is within me. The temptation is to say, it's their fault. It's them. It's him, it's her, it's this in my past, it's that in my past. That's the temptation, and the more we do that and say that, the more we feel like victims, and the more we feel like victims, the more we will be victimized. Does that make sense? It took me a decade to get that, so you were already way ahead of me. So what do we do with that? We take the time. We pay attention to how we live. We pay attention to how we interact. I was thinking a lot this week about how the world just seems to be going to hell in a handbasket. And I was like, Frankie, bring it down to really small places and moments and interactions. And what happened was so powerful for me because I realized there are so many good people around me. There are so many good, kind, warm-hearted, sweet, funny people around us. And what if that is enough? Whether you're at the grocery store and the person behind the register is helping you and is kind. How can we make that so much bigger and realize that in general our interactions with people are quite sweet and precious? That's a power at work, right? So it's the 13th century Persian poet Rumi who said, if everything around you seems dark, if everything around you seems dark, look again. Look again. You may be the light. You may be the light. Everything around you seems dark, dire, difficult, challenging. Look again. Because you are the one to bring the true power that is within you to life, to expression, to bear, to the fore, into action. And for some of you that maybe means protesting, power to the people. But for some of you it's a quiet prayer wherever you go, wherever you are, or music, or service. All of you bring some of that light, some of that power, some of that peace to your world around you. It's enough. And when we see that and know that and feel that, it shifts everything. Just like they say, one butterfly wing can make a shift all over the planet, right? So let's now listen to some music. And even though Andrew brings a different kind of music, there's always a beautiful message of love and light and peace and power and beauty and joy and wisdom, so find it.
I'm not a big protester kind of person, but I tend to not live in ignorance, but I choose to focus on what's good for me, what's good for my surrounding, right? And Elizabeth and I have a friend in common, Scooter, who had a friend named Steve. Do you know this story? Probably not. So Scooter's friend Steve passed away. He was battling cancer, and he had this group of 4 friends that he wanted to, when he passed away, he was cremated, and he wanted them to take a road trip together and spread his ashes across the U.S., right? And logistically, that just didn't work out. It's hard to get 5 people's schedules to line up, right? So what they did, to tell you how long ago this happened, they would go see Steve's wife and get a film canister of Steve and take it wherever they were going on vacation. So Steve is in Africa. Steve is in Yankee Stadium. Steve is in Canada. And I just thought, what power to be one being at the same time being all around the world. I thought that was just such a powerful image. This is really a story about friendship, really. It's called Steve's Song, or Take Me There. this moon tonight in Anchorage, Alaska, and a stunning scarlet sunrise on the Serengeti Plain. And it's springtime down in Dixieland, where the sweet magnolias bloom again. And all around this world, there's a whole lot of living going on. One moment we are here, we are hip, we are happy, we are gone. But you will help me carry on. It won't take much time, you can take me there. There's a waterfall in Chile I wish everyone could see, or hear the hope and grief spoke to the Wailing Wall. And you should hear the music at the Albert Hall. All around this world, there's a whole lot of living going on. One moment we are here, we are hip, we are happy, we are gone, gone, gone. But you will help me carry on. It won't take much time, you can take me there. It's the earth that we come from, and it's there that we belong. To the places you have gone, here's my memory, pass it on. You can take me there. And all around this world, there's a whole lot of living going on. One moment we are here, we are hip, we are happy, we are gone, gone, gone. Can help carry on, it won't take much time. You can help me carry on, 'cause you are a friend of mine. You will help me carry on, it won't take much time. You can take me there. You can take me there. You can take me there. You can.
Aw, that's beautiful.
Isn't that a great
Friendship.
story?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
great
I love
story.
I love that story.
I just received in the mail a necklace, a really pretty necklace that has ashes inside of Norman's sister who passed away.
Oh, see.
So I don't really wear it, but carry it,
Yeah,
you know.
sure.
He has one too. Very special way to travel with our loved ones that are no longer with us. Love that. All right, so there's a couple of things going on at the center that most of you already know, but it's a little reminder that our beloved Reverend Janice, who's a brilliant teacher, is teaching a class starting this Wednesday, and it's once a month, and it's called Using Life's Changes for Spiritual Awakening. And it's on Zoom, so it's once a month, 6 months, so it'll be done March 12th. And you need to register in advance. There's flyers over there for those of you who are here in person. And if you only see us online, just go to our website. The information is there. And if it's not there, just email us. In a few weeks, I'm doing a free discovery class. This is just a class for anyone that says, what are you all about as a teaching and as a community? and what would I need to know in order to become a member. So that's a free class, and it's for 12:30 to 3, and it's in person over here. Reverend Michelle Wadley is going to be a visitor. She has a connection with our community for a very long time. She started Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey about 20 years ago, and she wrote a new book on shadow work, which I highly, 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 highly recommend. And she's going to be selling those books, doing a workshop, and speaking on Sunday, October 27th. Then on November 3rd, we have a healing afternoon right here with Reiki and spiritual mind treatments for anyone throughout the afternoon. We have 5 rhythms with Sarah Garrison. We have Qigong, we have yoga, we have meditation, we have Kath's sound healing baths. So come and join us for that. Hot off the press. Oh, I just noticed it didn't print very well. Hot off the press. Fernando, Kat's husband, is doing a workshop, a little art and crafty type of workshop, so grab that flyer. And then the week after, which is November 10th, and on the 17th, our beloved Bill Stone, who is very, very well versed on dream interpretation, which is also one of my favorite things, and he's going to do a lecture on it, so come and join us for that. And now, let us do our love offering. There are many different ways to give to our center. One is to just put something in the basket or bless the basket when it comes around, because many of you give online and just give maybe once a month or once a year. All that we welcome, because it's in supporting this community that it can continue. And so there's envelopes in here if you need it. I'm also passing a form for social hour. Today, Lynn Forrest is facilitating our social hour, which means that we get to have some goodies and coffee and tea. And if that's something that you say, I would love to do that, you can sign up on this thing coming around. Add a pen. So I'll pass this to Val. And let's repeat after me with the affirmation, abundance affirmation. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It returns to me. Multiplied abundantly. As I share my good. I accept my greater good. And so it is. Is there anything else? Oh, when it comes to flyers, for those of you that are here, take them, post them, give them to family and friends, invite people to join us for these amazing events. We're also on Meetup, Facebook, where else? All the platforms as much as possible. So let's do a healing closing treatment. Again, our word for affirmative prayer. So in this very moment, as we again turn from the outer to the inner, as we pay attention to our heart, not just our physical heart, but our metaphysical heart, that invisible presence that is pure light, pure love, pure power, pure peace, pure wisdom, joy, and beauty, already within me. It's part of our DNA. It's part of the life force moving through each and every one of us. And because we are each unique, individualized expressions of the One, we each experience this in a different way. That is something to celebrate. Today we celebrate it by looking for it, especially when it appears to not be present. We look deeper so that any darkness or seeming absence dissolves and we see the beauty and the gloriousness of life itself. This then clears our consciousness, clears the cobwebs of our mind, and allows us to see more clearly so that we can be a beneficial presence in the world. This is never about how we haven't yet done enough. This is just about how these are infinite ideas within us, ever opening, ever revealing themselves, ever allowing for a space for us to open and evolve and grow and learn. And so that is worthy of awe and wonder and gratitude. And so our heart, once again, is dwelling in a place of joy of how and what is possible. We allow the blessings of that truth be ingrained within our consciousness, trusting and knowing that the law responds to us, responds to this word that we're each accepting in our own way, and responds to the gratitude we experience about being an individualized expression of the one. And so it is.
And so it is.
And so I think we have to have you do another song. Let's use you
Oh, please.
and take advantage of you
Yes, please. All at once, please.
while you're here.
I'm going to step off my performer platform for a second.
Oh,
I have to say, you guys are amazing. I mean, you guys have such a myriad of talents coming into this, and you share them so willingly, and it's lovely to see. So you should be very pleased with yourself for that. Well, that's really low. That's not what I want. Okay. Back. This song. Oh. Get back on track. Because I wanted to say something. I want to say not only are you guys amazing in and of yourselves, but you've been a blessing for me personally, because I feel God has given me this gift, and I've been listening to the voice saying, "So go share it." You know, I gave it to you for a reason, and as the basket, you know, goes around, you bless it and say, "May it come back to us tenfold." It has. So thank you. All right, now I'm back on. But I just want to say this, because I really do appreciate it, personally. And I hope it brings you something.
yes.
The song is called Believer. And as I wrote it, I really didn't know where it was going. Sometimes if you're a creative person, you know, you start something and you're like, I want to go this way. And then the thing, whatever it is, kind of goes like, no, I want to go this way. And this one kept changing directions on me. And I couldn't decide whether this was a very spiritual song or this was a very beautiful love song. And I think, yes, it is. Say exactly what you need. You could make me a believer. You're content to spend your time turning water into wine, giving blind men eyes to see. With a waving of your hand, calm the waters on command. You turn your eyes to me. calm the waters on command. So turn your eyes to me. I believe in all you are. I'm sure miracles are true. I can feel your eyes on me as I turn my eyes to you. You make it look so easy, the things you do for me. You could make me a believer.